Hey gamers, today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to not typically review how to play a game, but basically my thoughts on a game. I did a how-to playthrough of Time Stories, one of my favorite games I've played this year. And since I have some spare time, since a lot of my Kickstarters are delayed, I thought I'd do a spoiler review of my thoughts on the game and all of its expansions. Now today I'm just going to talk about the base game, which is Asylum right here. This is the one I'm going to talk about and just kind of give you my overall thoughts. Now if you want to hear a non-spoiler review, you can check out my podcast, Saturday Morning Samaflange, episode 187. It's on YouTube, but if you want to see hear a non-spoiler review of it, go there. This is all spoilers. Not even showing you how to play the game. I'm just giving you spoilers on what I thought. So for those of you who have played the game, I just found out about this game. Well, I've known about it for years. I didn't know what it was about, but I'd known of it. A buddy of mine had given me the game. He said, hey, teach us how to play this one time. I was like, sure. And that happens every once in a while. My game group will give me a game to look over, and I'll tell them what I think. Well, I put it up on my shelf, and I looked it over. It was a legacy game. I hated the pieces looked ugly, the board looked boring, and I hate legacy games. I didn't want to play legacy. I have no desire to play a legacy game. I was like, I'm out on this one. But the next week I said, hey man, we'll play it sometime. It's a legacy game. I really don't like legacy games. I said, but we'll play it. You know, I'll show you kind of how it's played, the ropes, but then you're gonna have to take it and find another group to play with, okay? Is that right? He said, sure. He said, just take your time whenever. Well, 8-10 months went by and I never got around to playing it. And I had just forgotten. It was up on a stack of papers. This was white, the paper was white, and I just forgot I even had it. And then about those 8-10 months later, he said, hey, what about that game I gave you last year? I was thinking, oh, dude, I said, I'm so sorry. We will play that right away. And so we did. It was earlier this year. I think either late January or early February, I can't remember. We finally gave it a go. Me and my buddy came over and said, okay, I didn't even want to play it at first. I said, look, we're going to play these two games, and then for like an hour or so I'll tell you how to play this, and we'll go from there. Well, it was 10:30 when we got around to the game, and we started playing it. We were impressed with the first run, even more impressed with the second run. About the second run, everyone took a bathroom break. It's 12:30, past time for us to call it a night. And we had to give up all of our items and start all over again. It was kind of disappointing. And I remember as everyone was going to the restroom, I was sitting there thinking, this is my limit. This is the precipice of whether I can walk away from this game. I can walk away from this game forever and not even care what happens next, or play it, but I'm playing it all the way through. And I told my gaming group that when they got back from the restroom and got some snack or whatever, I say, hey guys, here's your choices. If you want to stop right now, I'm fine with that. I can walk away from this game, and my buddy Nick could have it and play the rest of it with him. I said, but if you want to play another round, I said, we're going to have to finish it. I mean, we're going to have to stay here for another 3 to 4 hours, and it'll be 3 to 4 in the morning when we finish this. But I'm not going to, right now I can let this go, but if we play one more round of this, I want to see it to the end. So what do you want to do? And they all voted, yeah, let's stay up all night. Let's do this. So we stayed up to about 4 in the morning and played all the rest of the way through this game, Asylum. And so I've told you what I thought about the game on my actual review on my podcast. I told you what I love about the game. But now let me get into some spoiler details about the game. It really impressed us, the artwork. I've said this before, the cards is just basically where the game is, and those 5 or 6 set of cards there, it seems you just get so engrossed. All the little riddles and tricks, the maze puzzle. We had killed that doctor several runs, and then one day we decided to do something different and leave him alive, and the dude lets you pass over the entire very hard puzzle. That was great. I loved how they kept fooling us on here's someone you can trust, you can't trust. They've set up a few can't trusts for a while, and then after a while they knew you were not going to trust anyone, but you have to trust some people. And you become very insane too. I like how that works. At the very end, even though you know it's wrong to hold the hands of the naked girl in the pentagram to call forth that demon, you know it's wrong, but she's acting like, hey, I know you, this is why you're here, to help me, not to complete your mission, to help me. And we're thinking, geez. And I say, hey, look, guys, it's obviously we're not going to do this, okay? I know you guys, we're not going to do this. But every time we've been so sure about something, we've been wrong. And we all started laughing. Now, we did the right thing. We won the game. But at the same time, at the very end, that do you trust me question comes back. And after being wrong a billion times, you want to trust someone who you shouldn't trust. But the game is very thematic because it makes you feel like you're insane just like your characters are. And I love that about this game. Now, a lot of people say this is the best one. And I tend to agree it's one of the better ones for sure. That clue at the end was ruthless. We had all the clues. We looked at the picture. We knew the order where the keys went in. We knew the portrait of the girl, but we just could not figure out what everything meant. And the thing was, I was looking at the dadgum board upside down. I was starting in my southeast corner and moving clockwise or whatnot, and nothing made sense. And when I got up and got a snack and turned back around, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I've been looking at the board upside down, idiot. And I could easily solve it there. But what a hard puzzle and a brain burner. And I love that people don't spoil this, or a lot of people just no spoilers for Time Stories a lot unless you do a spoiler video. But we were so impressed with this. I was so impressed with this game that I immediately thought, man, this was way better than I wanted to. Now, of course, you think there's something more to come because that's when you find you can find your first time cube in it. And when we found there, like, whoa, this is for something. Oh, what's going on here? And we didn't have the expansions or either. And it was a borrowed game that we had. It wasn't even this game, actually. And so after the game was over, packed it up, talked about it for months. For months, we kept talking about it. And I was thinking, that is the sign of a good game. There's another red herring in here. You have to get 3 tokens to unlock that door or whatever, and it turns out to be nowhere. That's fun. People say, oh, it's trolling us here, but I don't know. I like how it finds ways to waste your time because they know that human curiosity, you can't stop wanting to look everywhere. And that comes into big factors later on in expansions. But this one basically tells you, this is nothing, but you know what? You're going to look anyway because you have to. You can't bear it. I have someone who is just like that. He cannot stand leaving a stone unturned. And they know that you'll do that because it'll waste time. Anything that'll waste time for you and cause you to lose the game. This was a tough one for us. We almost lost this one. But again, and see, even the cover looks boring, but the game is amazing. I absolutely love Asylum. I do agree with a lot of people. I think the art's best, and it's probably one of the best regular games of Time Stories there is out there. But it's just a solid game at the beginning with tons of surprises. Okay, so come back next time. I'm going to start doing all of the expansions from here. I'll talk about each one, and I will see you next week with another video.